we are going to read a poem about the way we should deal with success and failures. It is written by an American poet and journalist, Edgar Albert Guest. Before we start our poem, let's know about the poet. Edgar Albert Guest was born on 20th of August in 1881 and was often called the People's Poet. He also hosted a weekly radio show and was part of a television series called A Guest in Your Home. Most of his poems present an optimistic view of life. Guest considered himself a newspaper man who wrote verses. Now, let me give you a short summary of this poem. The poem Other Success is written by Edgar Albert Guest. Success is just not your own satisfaction and happiness in life. The author states that success is something we get when we live for others. You know, when your friend or family needs you. You should understand that true happiness is making others' life lively and happy. Success means having a generous heart, and it depends on everything we do. This poem has total 24 lines. Let's divide it into 4 lines each, and total we have 6 stanzas. Let's now start the poem titled Other Successes. Can you go to another who wins in the fight and give him a handshake that's true? Do you find yourself feeling a sense of delight in the good work another may do? So this is stanza 1. Here is the explanation. In these lines, the poet asks a question to us. The question is, can you go to a person who has defeated you in a fight or a game and give him a true handshake? He asks us again another question. Do you find any happiness in the good work that another person does? The reason behind asking this question is that the poet wants us to rejoice with others in their victory or success. Now, let's move to the next stanza. Or, deep in your heart, are there envy and hate when you see someone getting ahead? Do you sneer at his luck and rail at your fate? If you do, all your courage has fled. To these lines, the poet again asks us, if we don't share others' happiness, is there any jealous or hatred in your heart about others' success? He again asks another question, whether we sneer at someone's luck and complain about your fate when you get defeated. If you don't enjoy others' success, then it means that you have lost your courage. Let's move to the third stanza. If you haven't learned to rejoice in the deed of your brothers and give them a cheer, you haven't discovered the pathways that lead to genuine happiness here. In these lines, the poet says that if you haven't learned to show your joy and cheer of encouragement to the good work done by others, then you haven't discovered the road that leads to happiness. Let's move to the next stanza. If you cannot say to a brother, I am glad you have conquered, and give him your hand, your life must be gloomy and woefully sad. You are building your mansion on sand. To these lines, the poet says that if you cannot say to your brother, meaning friends, I am glad you have won, and you cannot give him a handshake, then your life will be gloomy and sad. You are building a mansion on sand which will collapse at any moment. Let's continue. Did you secretly gloat when others had failed? Did you sneer at the efforts he made? Did it inwardly please you to see him assailed? Did you chuckle to see him outplayed? Again the poet asks whether you secretly felt happy at your success when another had failed, or laughed at the efforts he made, or if secretly pleased you to see him defeated, or laughed quietly at him when you played better than him. Now, why the poet has asked these questions to us? We will come to know why he has asked us when we read the last stanza of the poem. Let's start. If this is the part you have chosen to play, you are as selfish as this. Though he falls in the thick and the heat of the fray, your failure is greater than his. Here the poet says, in the context of the other questions he had asked before, he says that if we have decided to live our life in such a way, by feeling proud of your success, by laughing at others when they lose, then though the opponent loses, your failure is greater than him, because you have failed in dealing with success and failures. I hope you have understood this poem. Thank you. We have the word meanings here. Sneer at, meaning if you sneer at someone or something, you express your contempt for them by the expression on your face or by what you say. Next word is woefully sad, meaning when you are woefully sad, you are extremely sad. Next, gloats. A person gloats when he is proud of his success and looks down upon other people. Next, assailed, meaning bitter or upset. Chuckle means laugh quietly. Fray is a fight or a competition.